And what's the motherfucking deal, YouTube? This your boy, Coach Dante, back with another live stream, back with another podcast. Shout out to my boy Jordy Fighter for coming on earlier today. Got a new guy here today. Just met him a couple of days ago. Legit. Finally got it. Finally get to interview a Rocket fan, something in my caliber. I always wanted a Rocket fan to come on. Hopefully, I get one more another Rocket fan, so we can, have a partnership during the Rocket season. But I got one so far, so I say again, make sure y'all subscribe to him. Tap that link in the pinned comment section with his link at, and sub up to him. Every single time, every time I do a Rockets game, me and him gonna do the Rocket interview. We gonna do the Rockets game right after, give our thoughts on the Rockets and throughout the whole season. Give our thoughts on the Rockets wins, losses, what is wrong with this team, and that's what we basically going to discuss throughout this whole podcast and some more NBA stuff. But we definitely gonna get into this Rockets news. So I want y'all to show some love to my boy Basketball Kid. Welcome to the stream, man.
Oh, thank you. I really like this stream. I've been watching it for like 2 days now, but yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Man, I'm glad you came forward, man. You decided to step up to the stream. So, man, tell the people where they can follow you at, man.
They can follow me on YouTube. I guess my Twitter too. It's NBA Fan 96. But yeah, I mean
Mm-hmm.
that's really it. But,
All right. So, let's go. So, last year, we had a bad season last year. The season didn't go right for last
yeah.
year. It was a pretty. What's up, Faye? It was a pretty disappointing season. If you want to say it's a disappointing season from last year, you could say that. But if you expected better for the Rockets, which is, I thought we were still going to be good until James Harden decided to do what he wanted to do. I thought it was going to be straight. I thought it was going into the right direction, and we were overachieving until we got Christian Wood hurt. Victor Oladipo did not want to play basketball. He did not want to play ball at all. I didn't believe he straight sucked with the Houston Rockets, and I was happy for him to be gone. But give me a reason. Give me a reason why you think the Rockets struggled last year is the way they did.
um, I think they struggled mainly maybe for chemistry issues because honestly, I feel like there was just too much drama with Houston Rockets for them to even like figure out what they wanted to do on this team. And Victor
Okay.
Oladipo, he obviously didn't want to be there. Now, when they
Nah,
traded,
yeah, you can tell.
yeah,
Go ahead.
and when they traded for like Kelly Olynyk, I feel like that was like the one bright spot at the end of the season for them. So that was
Yeah,
kind of good. Um,
yeah.
yeah,
I definitely agree with you on that. Kelly Olynyk probably was out of that trade was the one bright spot that the Rockets had. Because if you realize Kelly Olynyk probably had the best season best season with the Rockets than he ever had in his whole career. And like I say, the issues with James Harden at the beginning of the season, not wanting to be there, throwing the ball at Jayshawn Tate teammates and stuff like that, being a asshole in the locker rooms and stuff. Cousins clearly did not work out. He clearly did not work out. Victor Oladipo, the looks of him by him on the court, when you looking at this guy on the court, you don't think you're not thinking that he wanted to be there. You're not thinking that he wanted to be there at all. I didn't think he wanted to be in Houston. Who I mean, I don't blame him because we rebuilding anyway. But as far as his effort level, and he was inconsistent throughout the whole time he was with Houston. Probably the one game you kind of give him credit for. Probably a couple of games you give him credit for, as against the Chicago Bulls, his first game. That's the game you give him credit for because he came out hot. That was a very good debut by Victor Oladipo. And then the Thunder game, everybody had a great game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Everybody had a great game. Then the next game, we looked like pure shit. That very next game gotten blown out of the water. The very next game after that. So Victor Oladipo is clearly, like you said, he didn't want to be there. I knew he didn't want to be there at all. The way, and then he's ended up going to Miami, getting hurt anyway. So that kind of worked out for us. A.V. Bradley, he doesn't fit the system that we wanted to do, but it's good that we finally got a direction to go in. That we going young, we going rebuilding, we're retooling this team. Uh, in your instant, how did you feel about the John Wall and Russell Westbrook trade? How did you feel about that?
At first, I thought it was a good trade for the Rockets.
Okay.
Because they were doing pretty good in the Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing terrible, and honestly, I thought it would
Yeah.
be good. But later in the season, as the season progressed, it just all fell apart for the Rockets, and I
Mm-hmm.
mean, yeah, you could call it that. And James Harden, obviously, he was still doing bad stuff
Yeah.
in at the club and stuff or whatever.
And he was now, and he was. Then he lied to the public basically about where he was, and they kept up on him. But yeah, that trade scenario. Appreciate it, Jordy Fighter, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate you coming to the stream. What up, Samuel? What up, Look Fade, man? Make sure y'all sub up to my boy uh the basketball kid, man. The basketball kid. Shout out to him for coming on. His link is at the pinned comment, man. Y'all sub up to him, show him some love. He will. He do show love back. But yeah, like I said, I just felt like it was. I didn't think it was gonna be too terrible last year. The injuries definitely played a part in it. Sterling Brown went out in the middle of the season. He was out during Miami. He walks to Dallas. Um, and then we had a lot of guys. Amani Brooks stepped up later during the season. He's a damn sharpshooter. I hope we can somehow reclaim him, which I think we're gonna do. Um, I see a bright future in this team. And then, like I said, I thought we won the NBA draft. Everybody thought we won the NBA draft. I thought we won the NBA draft. Jalen Green is going to be an all-star in this league. He's going to be a stud in this league. Shangoon is a pretty good center, young center, and you got that dude that play for. I don't know I forgot who he played for, but he's in the World Cup right now. He's a pretty good defender. He's a pretty good defender as well. So I mean, how do you feel about this draft? How do you feel about this draft? You think we made the right moves in this draft?
Yeah, I definitely think we made the best moves we could have
Mm-hmm.
done. I mean, I feel like they could have drafted maybe like JT Thor instead of Josh Christopher, maybe. I don't
Okay.
know. But yeah, I think the guy you were talking about was Usman Garuba. Yeah, he's playing
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Okay.
Olympics.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, he is a
Okay.
good defender. And also the Sengun guy. Yeah, he's
Mm-hmm.
6'10". He's like a kind of a Jokic, but I think he does need to develop his 3 point
Okay.
shot.
Yeah,
Because he's
I feel
not
you.
good at that.
All right. Do you see Garuba and Shangoon playing this year, this coming season in October? Do you see them actually on the floor getting minutes this year? Do you see them playing? Or you see them both in the G League? We know we're not gonna put Jalen Green in this. We know Jalen Green is gonna be starting. He's gonna be in the starting lineup probably. But how about Shangoon and Garuba? Do you see them on the opening night roster or getting some minutes?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think Jalen Green is definitely going to be starting, but maybe the Sengun guy, he could be like their backup power forward or
Okay.
center,
Okay.
and maybe Usman, he could be the small forward or power forward. He could be like a big small forward, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Um,
So how did you feel about the Daniel Tice move?
I feel like it wasn't a great move, but it wasn't a
Yes,
terrible move.
I said that. Go ahead. Yeah, I like that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like he was kind of bouncing around teams because he got traded to the Bulls and now he's on the Rockets. I feel like he could be a guy that could be there for some defense. Maybe people could throw some alley oops at him, like KPJ or John Wall, throw some oops to him. I don't know. I feel like it was an okay signing. I mean, that could be like a
Hmm.
Kelly Olynyk replacement, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely agree with you. I definitely agree with you 1,000%. As I said in the video, I thought it was a cool, okay move. It was a cool move. Nothing to jump up and down and get excited about. Get excited about. It was an okay move. He fits. Like I say again, he can do some pick and pops, pick and rolls. He's also a veteran. He can play some pretty decent defense, protect the rim pretty good. Uh, like I say, when do you see him? Do you see him as a starter, right there with Christian Wood, or do you see him as a backup? You see him as a starter or a backup?
I feel like he could be a starter. I mean, Christian Wood could be at the power forward because that's like his natural position,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
then Tice at the center. And maybe they could like switch off with. They could like try different, you know, rotations. Maybe Shengun could start at the center, and Daniel Tice could start at the center. They could try it out and see what works best.
All
Um,
right. All right. All right. So last year, give me your breakout. Give me your surprise player last year for the Rockets. Give me your surprise player.
the surprise
A
player.
surprise player that you didn't think that was gonna break out. Do too good.
Um, hmm. I guess like Armani Brooks maybe. Armani
Okay.
Brooks.
Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say KPJ, but I feel like there was a lot of hype surrounding him when he came out of the G League.
Mm-hmm.
So I want
Yeah.
to say Armani because I feel like it was an underrated signing. He's a sharpshooter.
Yeah.
He can get off. He can like run around or run off the pick or and get that wide open shot. I feel like he's a decent little role player, a young guy that can develop and be like a Lou Williams type player maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that pick. That was awesome right there. I'm gonna go with, even though this guy kind of older, but I see a future with him with the Houston Rockets. Nobody else. I like KJ Martin, man. KJ Martin, man, that dude is a stud, man. KJ Martin blocked every 7 footer in the game. Like I said, he just needs to get confident on shooting more catch and shoot shots. But the guy's gonna be a star. He's gonna be a stud in this league. I don't know so much about a star. That slipped out my mouth a little bit. But like I say, KJ Martin is really, really good. It looks like he's gonna be better than his father. The man can leap. The man can play some defense. The man give effort every time he goes out there on the court. He can switch on point guards. He can also defend point guards. And then he's a great rim protector as well. He started off, like I said, kind of slow in the G League. He started off kind of slow a little bit, but when he started getting out there and putting up minutes, KJ Martin was very, very productive out there on the floor, and I was very impressed with that dude, the way he played.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He like blocked Boban, and
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I see like the farthest he's going is like a borderline All Star.
Yep. Okay.
Um, yeah, but I think he can go far with Houston Rockets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like he's one of their young guys that's kind of underrated and not a lot of people talk about him, but he could definitely be something for the Houston Rockets, but that the NBA needs to watch out for.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So give me your lights. Oh man, I'm hearing this guy could be in trade packages, but I don't believe the Rockets would give him up. Jay Sean Tate. Did you think he was gonna have the season he had last year? I mean, that's a great accomplishment to make the all rookie team and defensive team, man. Give me your lights on Jay Sean Tate.
I like Jay Tate. I feel like he needs to work on his shooting just a little bit.
Yes. Yes.
But I feel like he is kind of like a PJ Tucker in a way.
Great comparison.
Yeah, yeah,
Comparison.
yeah.
Great.
He's like a hustle guy, and he can get in the paint. He's tough. He can get aggressive when he needs to. And honestly, I don't think they're trading him. It's too early in his career for them to give up on him that early.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. You summed up his game just the right way, like a PJ Tucker type guy. He did start coming on later in the season, starting making 3-point shots. But again, if he can make, just imagine if he can make them sit consistently, the guy can easily average 15, 14 points per game. And that's a great accomplishment, man, for a damn near 30-year-old rookie. At damn near putting up the stats and the points he did. But like I say, I can value him better than the PJ Tucker because he can do a lot more things that PJ Tucker would not consider doing. PJ Tucker is just a quality role player that would do anything he could to win and spot up in the corners and stuff. Jason Tate, he can make more things happen. He can put the ball on the floor, facilitate. He can also go in the post. He's a great all around PJ Tucker, more better version of PJ Tucker. Only thing is the shot making. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, and yeah, the shot making definitely, and maybe if he could develop like solid like playmaking ability, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that could take his game to the next step, and he could just be even better, like ways better than PJ Tucker, and
Mm.
maybe even be like a Kawhi Leonard, not at like the star like caliber at as Kawhi Leonard, but a
Yeah.
similar type of player.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about John Wall? Do you value this season as a success for John Wall, or do you value is disappointing? I know he was a layoff for 2 years. I kind of valued it. It was a success for him, averaging 21 points per game. His assist is down. His assist is down, but also it's the same thing, the injuries. But again, his shooting has went up a lot. He shot about 33% from the 3 point line this year, I believe so. Your turnovers are up a lot. How do you value the season for John Wall?
I think it was a success season for him no matter what, because I think he was just happy to be back on the court after 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess maybe the Rockets aren't the team that he necessarily wanted to be on, but I think he
Yeah.
was just happy to play basketball again. And I think, yeah, his shooting went up a lot. He does need to work on that, or
Yeah.
he needs to be like more consistent, with the
Yes.
shooting. Um, but I really think he did have a good season with Houston, but I just can't see like a long future with Houston.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. He's not the future of the team. It's clearly KPJ and Kev and Jalen Green's team. It's clearly their team, no doubt about that. But like I say, I'm impressed to see Jalen Green Saturday play. But really the guy is gonna be a star in this league. We definitely can agree on that right now. We can see that the way he plays. He's gonna be the rookie of the year. I got him for rookie of the year. I know everybody gonna lean toward, but I got Jalen Green the rookie of the year. That man down there can probably be an all star his first year, if his second year, if everything just break right for him. The guy have crazy athletic ability. He needs to just, to me, if he can shoot more consistent, he will be fine. But his shooting is pretty decent. He shot by 37% from three in the G League. And just by him he has a little NBA experience at a 19-year-old guy, has little NBA experience because he played in the G League, playing against NBA caliber guys. I think that helped him a little bit coming then by not going to college and getting an early jump up. And not only that, they make the playoffs. They make the G League playoffs, and he had a great game in that. So how do you see Jalen Green's future going out? I mean, I'm excited to see this guy, especially Saturday when Ashri in the summer league come on here and talk to you about the recap game. I'm excited. So what you excited about, man, to see Jalen Green?
I think he'll be a great player, especially in the summer league. I think he could just show his skills to the fullest, because he's going against other rookies, other guys that are kind of at his caliber, and
Mm-hmm.
with the other rookies coming in, I feel like he could maybe develop his playmaking ability there too. Because if he's like driving in the paint, people double him, pass it out in the corner to Josh Christopher or something like that. And
Yeah.
maybe even Jayshawn Tate's brother. I think his name is Jalen Tate. He's going to be on
Okay.
that roster too.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, so I think their summer league roster would be great, and when he actually plays a NBA game, I think he could just show his skills and just see what happens.
Yeah. I think that G League kind of helped him out because when you're in the G League, you're playing against other NBA guys that's fighting or trying to make the team, or that's fighting that was already on the team but been moved on. I think that's going to help him a little bit. It's going to help him a little bit more. So you can tell by him going to the G League, by him playing in the summer league this summer, I think he's going to be more than ready. To be honest, I think don't be surprised if he lights it up. Don't be surprised if he lights it up in the G League. I mean, in the summer league, because of that G League experience that he had and playing against older guys, the guys that been in the NBA already and that moved down, or older guys that been in the G League for years. And which I mean, I think he can do well in this summer league against rookies. You're upgrading, you're downgrading from rookies to guys that was in the G League, and he was still dominant. He was still averaging 17 points per game. So I think this is gonna kind of help him out a little bit. I see, like I said, I got Jalen Green as rookie of the year this coming season. I mean, I say we ain't got a long to wait. We got to October. NBA gonna be on their regular schedule. Like I said again, we finally get to see Jalen Green and see a guy that's ready. That should have been the number one pick. He's gonna be motivated, and KPJ gonna also be on that roster. So, I mean, KPJ. What did I thought he having a great season? He had a great season as well. I love Kevin Porter Jr. I liked this guy when he was in Cleveland. I remember that game when we played Cleveland. I think James Harden got on that fourth quarter burst. He got on the fourth quarter burst. He got on that fourth quarter burst. But KPJ was one of the guys that was just killing the Rockets. That was killing the Rockets in the fourth quarter and in the third quarter. How you feel about that move again with KPJ coming to Houston was traded because of the locker room issues in Cleveland? I thought that was a goddamn steal, and I thought Cleveland just gave up on him.
Yeah, I think that was definitely a steal. I think the Rockets gave up like a second round pick
Second
for.
round pick, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and that was an absolute steal. I absolutely love the trade. I think they got a young stud in the making. But yeah, I guess Jalen Green too. I feel like he is the most experienced guy in the draft because he played with guys like Jarrett Jack
yeah.
in the
In the
G
G League,
League.
yeah,
So he is definitely experienced with the older players, and I think the older players like Jared Jack, they've kind of helped him to develop into that most experienced guy that knows more than the average rookie.
yep. Hey, I mean, I believe, I mean that's gonna help him out a lot. That's gonna actually help him out a lot during the season and during this summer league. He got more experience than any rookie in the summer league, playing in the G League with older P guys. And Jared Jack was one of the mentors of that team, and they still had a they made the G League playoffs. Let's not forget about that. They made the G League playoffs. They lost, but they made it. And they had three other rookies on that team that made it as well. So again, man, so I mean, last year was an underthought that everybody knew we was gonna be. We weren't gonna be bad. I thought we had a chance to make the playoffs. But Christian Wood, his first year, I mean, do you see this guy being a big part of this future? I believe he came out and said he wanted to be a part of the future. He wanted to be a part of this rebuild. Do you see Christian Wood being here long term, or do you see him asking for a trade soon?
I think he could be here until his contract expires in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the Rockets give him like a bag in free agency, then I think he's coming back. But if they give him only like 20 mil, then honestly, I don't think he's taking that. And we don't really know what he's going to be like in the next 2 years. He could develop his game to a freaking superstar caliber
Mm-hmm.
player, and maybe he would request a trade, or and he could, and he would like if he becomes a free agent, he could just go to a super team or like the Brooklyn Nets or Los Angeles Lakers. I don't
Mm-hmm.
even know. You know.
So the Raphael Stone GM and Coach Silas. I mean, how do you feel about Raphael Stone? Do you think he made some good quality moves? Do you think he got enough for the James Harden deal? And do you how do you value his work so far?
I do like his work. I don't think he's at the caliber of Daryl Morey for the Rockets,
Okay.
but I do think he's a decent GM. I liked his draft picks. I feel like he didn't get enough for James Harden because you know he could have gotten, he was going to be traded to the Heat, so he could have gotten Tyler Hero, another young player,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and he could have gotten Karis LeVert. I don't know why he traded
I don't know.
him.
Yeah, yeah, that's the only move you can question
Yeah,
him on. Why he didn't keep Karis LeVert and he took Victor Oladipo. I don't know why is that because Victor Oladipo. clearly didn't want to play in Houston. There was rumors that he didn't want to show up in Houston. That was going to be a waste right there. Then we could have actually got Jared Allen. We could have got Jared Allen out of that deal as well. We could have definitely got Jared Allen. That's the
Yep.
only move you can question the guy on, obviously. But like I say again, like how you said, he's done one heck of a job trying to rebuild this organization. Like I say again, throughout the years, everybody they gave James Harden whatever he wanted. When James Harden heard that one big no for him, he wanted out all of a sudden. And Coach Tyronn Lue, he asked for Coach Tyronn Lue, but Coach Tyronn Lue earlier that day signed with the Clippers. But like I say, in a James Harden era, uh, do you put some of the onus on James Harden for us not winning the championship, or do you put it on the organization, or which way you going at right here? You leaning towards?
Um. So, like, when they actually had a chance to win the championship in, the 2019 to 20 season in the bubble, I don't blame it on James Harden or the organization. I blame it on Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
Because he just didn't show up in those big moments. He was
Mm-hmm.
not as bad as Paul George, okay? I will say that.
Yeah.
But he just didn't show up in the big moments, and I feel like he has a history of doing that. He just chokes in the playoffs, like many players. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's who I blame. Yeah.
Like throughout the years, like I said again, I'm not gonna blame James Harden for like the San Antonio series when I believe he got tired. He ran out of gas. I believe he got tired. He ran out of gas, but he could have put more effort up in that game 6. I believe he ran out of gas. But some of the owners has to go on James Harden. Not all of them. I would give him a pass on most of them. Not all of them, but as a player, some of the owners going to go on him anyway. And like I say, the only thing I'm gonna blame Harden. The first Western Conference Finals. I don't know if you remember when we got Dwight Howard. Do you remember that?
Um.
I don't know if you remember that. When we played the
I
Golden State Warriors, that year, we come back, we beat the Clippers from down 3-1. James Harden had 12 turnovers. That's pretty much and if you want to say the San Antonio series, you can say that as well. You can say that as well. So that's two. That's two.
Yeah. Okay.
2017. 2017. I don't put that on James Harden. I don't put that on James Harden at all on 2017. It's not James Harden's fault that the team go 0 for 27 from the goddamn 3-point line. That's not James Harden's fault. If Steve Kerr is packing the paint and stopping James Harden from getting to the basket and guys can't make shots, that's not his fault. That's not his fault at all. The 2018 and then Chris Paul goes down, get hurt during that series, which is I think the Rockets would have won. That's 2017, 2018. I think the Rockets would have won that NBA Finals that year. That was just a bad luck year. Then the very next year, Rockets lose. And you probably do remember this. You remember when Kevin Durant went down?
Yes, versus
And if
Toronto.
no versus the Rockets, he went down
Oh.
versus the Rock first. Us first though. He went down. He went down for good with Toronto, but he went down with the Rockets. That was the Rockets series he actually got hurt in.
Okay.
That was
Yeah, I kind of remember that.
yeah. That was that game 5. That was that game 5 when the Rockets was up going into the fourth quarter. Steph Curry got hot in that series. Steph Curry got hot in that series and in that game. And I said to myself, if the Rockets don't win this game 5 without Kevin Durant, the Rockets not the game. The series is not going 7. Rockets lose the
Yep.
game. They lose it in 6. They lose it in 6. Next thing you know, Chris Paul is out the door. Now, that's the year that you're referring to. You get Russell Westbrook. For me, Russell Westbrook came back too early. I don't think he was actually healthy out there on the court. I don't think he was actually healthy. I believe he was rushed back in the OKC series. I believe he was rushed pretty much back. But probably without Westbrook, do the Rockets lose that series? I kind of don't know. You can say yes. You can say kind of no. But I want to ask you this question: do the Rockets lose that OK series without Russell Westbrook? Do they lose it? Do you think?
Um. Yes, I think they do because
Okay.
Russell Westbrook was a scoring generator, and I'm pretty sure one of those games was kind of tight, and
Mm-hmm.
Russell Westbrook was part of that scoring, and without Russell Westbrook you don't have that scoring, so
Mm-hmm.
you might have gotten blown out, you might have lost.
Yeah.
um
Oh, so you got a question right here. Give me your thoughts on Darius Garland.
oh,
I
okay.
guess how
Mm.
you feel about him?
I like Darius Garland. I think the backcourt of Darius Garland and Colin Sexton has worked so far. I think
Mm-hmm.
Darius Garland, he's definitely developed his game since he was a rookie in 2019. Yeah, I feel like he's kind of developed his 3-point shot a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He is a good player. I feel like just Cleveland maybe isn't the right place for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're obviously trash. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think he could definitely develop his game in somewhere like maybe New York when they get rid of Kimba. Maybe you know.
I like that move. So Cleveland Cavaliers are trading Colin Sexton. They came out and immediately said they would trade him because they don't like his playing style. Um, how do you feel about Colin? Do you think they should change their mind and keep Colin Sexton, or do you think it need a change of scenery for him? And what do you like to see Colin Sexton at?
I think the Cleveland Cavaliers should keep Colin Sexton, but they probably won't. And if they do trade him, honestly, I would like to see him go to the Rockets. I mean, I got
Mm,
it. Yeah,
mm,
I feel like
okay.
the Rockets. I don't know. They could do a package like um, you know, Jay Sean Tate. That's in that package. I feel like they do need to give up one of their young guys, and I feel like Jay Sean Tate could be that guy. And then
Mm-hmm.
they need to give up Eric Gordon because
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
He's not part of their timeline. He has too big of a contract. He's 33 years
yeah,
old. Yeah, they need to get rid of him 100%. You know.
yeah. So I mean, like, that's one thing subject I forgot about is Eric Gordon. I know he can play on a contending team somewhere, but you don't see? I personally don't think Eric Gordon will be on this team by opening night. Do you see Eric Gordon starting the season with the Houston Rockets, or do you see the Houston Rockets trading Eric Gordon before the season start?
I don't see him playing a game with Houston Rockets this
Okay.
season. I see him getting traded to the Indiana Pacers for Doug
Who?
McDermott. Doug
Doug
McDermott.
McDermott I think he went to San Antonio in free agency. He was a free agent.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
he went to Seattle. He went to San Antonio.
Oh dang. Well, hmm. I
But there
didn't
was
know.
rumors. That's been a hot rumor though. To be honest with you, him to the Pacers. But you think the Pacers have a caliber playoff team? If for Eric Gordon, you think the Pacers have a caliber playoff team for him to contribute on?
Um,
They
yeah.
just got they just traded Aaron Holiday in a draft to the Wizards.
Oh, yeah. I think the Indiana Pacers could be a contender if they get Eric Gordon. For the past couple years now, they've been like a first round exit as at most. But
Yeah,
I think with the Eric Gordon, you know, coming to Indiana, they could be at least go to the second round. They could trade maybe Miles Turner, maybe.
yeah.
Um,
I
I
think
feel
they
like yeah.
did they do it. I thought I saw Miles Turner is. I don't know. Yo, they haven't traded Miles Turner. They haven't gave trade him yet.
No, they
Okay,
haven't. But
okay, okay,
I have seen some rumors about it. But
okay. All right.
yeah.
So, who? Give me a couple winners in this free agency mark that you know. Give me a couple winners.
Oh, okay. The Lakers obviously, yeah,
Yeah,
they got Melo, Russell Westbrook, they got Wayne Ellington, he's a sharpshooter.
yeah,
Um yeah, and the second winner I would say is maybe the Chicago Bulls,
yeah.
they got DeMar DeRozan, they got Lonzo Ball. They've formed a really good team.
Yes.
I absolutely love it. And honestly, the reason I see them not I, I saw them not succeeding last season is because
Uh-huh.
when they traded for Nikola Vucevic, Nikola Vucevic didn't have time to adjust to Chicago, and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
didn't have time to adjust to his role.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I like that. I
yeah,
like that.
and
I got two. I definitely agree with you on Chicago and Los Angeles. I got the New York Knicks. I think they are pretty good winner in free agency.
yeah, they
Getting Kemba
definitely are.
Walker, yeah, Kemba Walker resigning their own players back. And like I say, I think they did a really, really good job, man. The New York Tom Thibodeau has really made a great impression on this basketball team and straighten up this basketball team. That rookie that they had last year, Emmanuel Quickly, is really, really good. A really, really good player. Great shooter, great playmaker. Julius Randle just got paid early yesterday. I believe that was yesterday. Kawhi Leonard is staying with the LA Clippers. So I'll say, do you see Dame? Do you see Dame getting traded? Do you see the Portland Trailblazers making a move on Dame, or do you see him staying in Portland?
I see him staying because there are reports that
Okay.
he said he wanted to stay, and pretty much all the hype has died down. Like a month ago, all the hype was just coming, and everybody thought he was, um, going to get traded, but he didn't. And you know, the only trade scenario I could see happening is maybe to the Golden State Warriors. Because
Mm.
there's so many rumors that that's going to happen. But honestly, I don't even like the move going to the Warriors because
Yeah.
they have Stephen Curry. They have
Yeah, Stephen Curry. Yes, I definitely agree with you on that part. Definitely agree with you on that part.
yeah.
Everybody is when I'm on Twitter, I see a lot of Philadelphia 76ers fans, and I feel bad for them because they still got Ben Simmons in the building, and I heard he disgruntled. So uh, I know, and you know the reason why he's not traded. You know, front office is not going to come out and say it, but the reasons why he's not traded is clearly he has no trade value
Yeah.
at all. And the trade package you asking for is not going to cut it with any team. I don't give a damn. You trade him to the Rock. You trying to trade him to the Rockets. The Rockets are not going to get that shit up. Why the Rockets? Why would we give up our future for a person that can't make an impact on the floor? That is a none. No, you can't do that. And the only way you're going to stay in this league a long time if you can just do one thing. That is just you. If you can shoot alone, you stay in this league. And I say I mean, that's the only reason he's not out the door, clearly, is because the trade package they're asking for is too high. So and then we already turned down a trade with Tobias Harris. So they're trying to trade Tobias Harris as well. That's still leave. Seth Curry, they trying to trade him. So what you think about this 76ers shenanigans? Do you think they should go ahead and go to a rebuild mode? Because at this point, I don't know if they want to stay contenders or I don't know if they want to blow it all up. You the
Um,
GM, what you would do to this team?
I would blow it up. I would trade Ben Simmons to the Golden State Warriors
Okay,
for maybe Andrew Wiggins.
okay,
Now I did see your video that said Ben Simmons or the Philadelphia 76ers are willing to keep Ben Simmons.
yeah,
I, that
they can't, yeah, because he got no value, and that's clearly, like I said again, they asking for a James Harden type deal,
yeah.
a James Harden type trade package.
Yeah, they're asking for at least an all-star, and
Yes,
that's not happening.
mm-hmm.
And trying to trade Tobias Harris, I can kind of see that why they wanted to trade him because he does have
Okay,
a hefty salary, and I mean, I don't even know who they would trade him to. I feel like they could trade him to a team like the Toronto Raptors for,
okay,
maybe Fred Van Vliet or even Pascal Siakam.
okay.
Yeah, you know, and trading Seth Curry, I honestly don't understand why they would do that. He's a good role player. He can shoot. He's a sharpshooter. I mean, that's really all they need him for, and that's what he, brings to the table. So I don't understand why they would want to trade him.
Yeah, and like I say, I mean, if you're gonna trade Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, and you're gonna trade Steph Curry and leave Embiid in a drive, you might as well just blow this team up, blow this team all the way up to down to the bridge. You might as well just do it. But the Miami Heat, get Kyle Lowry. Do you feel like the Miami Heat is in that championship contender, or you see them in the middle of the pack along with the Milwaukee's? You see them with the Brooklyn Nets. How do you value the Miami Heat in the East? How do you value them? Keeping Duncan Robinson 5 year $90 million deal, and they also saw Kyle Lowry. I think they saw Kyle Lowry. They got PJ Tucker. They still PJ Tucker from the Bucks. Do you feel like they still in that championship mode contender? They did enough to overtake the Bucks and the Heat, overtake the Bucks, and they overtake the Brooklyn Nets. Did you feel like they did enough?
I don't feel like they did, but I do
All
like
right.
the moves of Peter Tucker and Kyle Lowry. I feel like that those were great moves. Honestly, I don't think they should have gave Jimmy Butler a max contract.
Okay. Okay.
After all the drama with Rachel Nichols,
Oh
making out with
yeah, I
her.
heard about that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard that.
yeah. I feel like the Miami Heat, they're bubble frauds. You know.
Yeah, everybody called him that. I've been hearing that.
Yeah.
Everybody called him that. Everybody called him bubble frauds.
Yeah.
So you say you don't think they can compete with Brooklyn and the Bucks. Fair enough. Do you think the Bucks losing PJ Tucker, I mean, will be a difference, or you don't think it won't? You think you still see the Bucks the same way as contenders again and repeating?
I think that is a big loss for Milwaukee because he was the guy
Mm-hmm.
that defended Kevin Durant for most of that series, and now they don't have a guy like that. And they also, lost Bryn Forbes. He's a shooter. I
Yeah.
feel he's an underrated guy. Um, I mean, they did just get Grayson Allen and George Hill, so those are some underrated, guys that they traded for and signed. But I feel like they're not going to win the championship this year.
Okay. 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 So Brooklyn, they lost disappointing loss last year, but they also did great in free agency as well as getting a veteran on the bench in Patty Mills. They also get James Johnson, who's a pretty decent defender who can guard fours, power forwards and stuff. And I forgot who else they got, but like I say, they made some great moves as well. Do you feel like this is Brooklyn year this coming year?
Um, I think Brooklyn, they are still a contender, and I think they are even better than last year because Patty Mills, that is a loss for San Antonio, but it's a great move for the Brooklyn Nets because
Mm-hmm.
that's a shooter, and they got James Johnson, a black belt. That's always valuable.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I think they made some great signings in those two guys. But yeah, I really think they're contenders, and I guess I hope KD's foot, doesn't mess up everything again.
Yeah. I mean, you see James Harden winning the championship anytime soon. Do you see him winning a title with Brooklyn?
Um, I do see him winning a title with Brooklyn. If they just got like that fourth All Star, I feel like they could definitely do it. I feel like if they got a guy like who, maybe Fred Van Vliet, Donovan Mitchell. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of unrealistic, but maybe like a good center. I feel like that they could definitely take it to the next step.
Mm-hmm. Do you see? So the Hawks, they overachieved last year. Everybody's gonna agree with this. They overachieved last year. Do you see them doing what they did last year? Or do
No,
you think this year? So you think this year was a fluke? What they
yeah,
did?
yeah, I
Okay.
definitely do.
Go
The
ahead.
only
Go ahead.
reason they made the Eastern Conference Finals is because of injuries. So many
Yeah.
injuries. Yeah, and they got past Philly. I mean, that was sort of because of Ben Simmons. There wasn't
Yeah.
really any injuries in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Ben Simmons like passed up a wide open dunk,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
yeah,
Everybody's still talking about that. And to this day, he passed up a wide open dunk. I mean, I clearly saw it. where he passed up a wide open dunk, and then Trey Young struggling the whole game. Next thing you know, he comes down, he hits a 3-point shot in the middle of the floor, pretty much puts the ball game away. Pretty much. Uh, I'll say before back to the Houston Rockets as we go again, man. Do you see us having a do you see us having an average season, or do you see us having another season like we did last year? Do you see us having a chance to compete for a playing game? How do you see this team fitting coming into this year?
I see our team fighting for a play-in game and maybe even being like the eighth seed, seventh seed, or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. I think with definitely the draft moves, the acquirement of Daniel Tice, they could definitely be in contention for a
Mm-hmm.
play-in game. Yeah,
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, AC, like I'm gonna tell you this: if the Rockets can get to a playing game and make it to a playing game, I would value that as a damn show. Anything better than what they did last year, it will be a successful season. But definitely a playing game, like I say, definitely this team, like I say, is that will be a very impressive move. And then maybe again you can attract some free agents to come play with Jalen Green, KPJ, and Christian Wood. You can attract some guys to come play with them. But like I say, I like the direction that we are going in right now, man. I like this pickup of Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. And now you know who promised Jalen Green that he was gonna be picked. The whole time it was the Houston Rockets,
yeah,
and the whole time it was Kevin Porter Jr. who was vouching for him to come to the Rockets, and Jalen Green wanted it as well. So I say, besides Jalen Green, who do you see having a great season? Great rookie season. We know Jalen Green. He's going to be an All Star someday. But who you think is going to have a great season besides Jalen Green in a rookie class?
I think Usman Garuba could have a breakout season, and uh, Shengun, he could be good too. Josh Christopher, he could have an okay season. I see the most he's averaging in his rookie season about at most about 14 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like 3.5 assists or something. You know, but I really think Shangun, he could really show his skills because he's in the NBA. Because he's lanky, he's 6'10", he's fast, he can drive to the bucket. He's very good at that aspect.
Okay. Like, who's a surprise pick in the draft that you didn't see coming? What team that surprised you the most? That of the pick of they pick? What team that surprised you the most?
Wait, like just the Rockets or all teams?
No, all teams in the draft. That why you didn't see this player going here? What team
Uh,
surprised you? What was a surprise draft pick for you in the draft?
okay. Many people don't know about this guy. His name is BJ Boston.
Okay, okay.
He went 51st. I thought he would be at least a 35th type pick. I did not see him going this
Mm-hmm.
far. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I think that was a guy that I thought would not go as low as he did.
Mine was Scotty Barnes, from the Toronto Raptors. That was kind of like that pick was kind of got me scratching my head a little bit. I
Yeah.
thought Toronto was going to lean towards a point guard. I thought they were going to lean towards a point guard because Kyle Lowry's definitely not coming back. That he definitely played his last year in Toronto. So Scotty Barnes was the pick that got from me. Okay, in that rookie class, any player out of Jalen Suggs, Scotty Barnes, Evan Mobley, who else I'm throwing now? Well, all the teams out, all the persons. We're gonna throw Jalen Green out of there because everybody again know he's gonna be something special. And Cade Cunningham. Give me most of those guys. Give me one of those guys. Out of one of those guys that you see being successful in their organizations that's going to turn into something great one day.
On 100% Kate Cunningham.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe Jalen Suggs. Maybe Jalen Suggs over Cade.
Uh-huh.
I've seen some people that are really high on Suggs, and I sort of agree with them, sort of don't. But I think Cade Cunningham could have the most successful career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you see Jalen Suggs being successful in Orlando though? Do you see him being successful there, coming out of there?
I think I do because a backcourt of either Cole Anthony or Markel Fultz next to Jalen Suggs. I think that could be really good. Because Jalen Suggs, he is a good defensive guy.
Yeah,
He
he's
can,
very good.
yeah. And with the departure of Nikola Vucevic, I think these young guys like Cole Anthony, Markel Fultz, Jalen Suggs,
Mm-hmm.
all those guys, they could definitely bring them back. Because they haven't been at that even playoff caliber in like ever since like I don't know Tracy McGrady. I don't know.
Yeah, Tracy McGrady pop. No, it was Dwight Howard, I believe. It was
Oh
Dwight
yeah,
Howard. That was
yeah,
it. That was it. But like I say, they've been bad ever since then.
yeah.
Like I say, they've been either the last couple of years they've been mediocre, nothing but mediocre, eight seeding out. But I mean, Colin Sexton is on the verge of getting traded. Do you think it's the organization? Is the organization bad, or do you think? Do you agree with some of the thoughts that they're saying about him? They don't like his playing style. But I mean, to me, it don't look like the guy averaged 25 points per game. So by his average, it don't seem like it's him. But do you think it's him? Sometimes his ability not to play make, because that's one thing he's lacking, or you think it's the organization? It's just not putting no players around him.
Um, I think it's sort of both. I feel like some of the players on the team are kind of don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially Kevin Love.
Yeah, yeah,
Some players
yeah.
say he's a ball hog. And Kevin Love. I think he said something like he doesn't know what he's doing. I feel like he said something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the players are pushing him to leave, get traded, whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's be honest. Who wants to play for the Cleveland Cavaliers? So
Not even me.
yeah. But I think just Colin Sexton, uh, you know, he needs to blossom into a star somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Next to veterans, not just Kevin Love.
Mm-hmm.
Veterans. He might need to go to Los Angeles Lakers because they have so many veterans now. Trevor Ariza, Wayne Ellington, whoever. Carmelo Anthony. Yeah.
Okay. Do you see the Knicks having a great season again?
Yes, I do. Um,
Okay.
because they did get Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker again. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, they did lose Reggie Bullock, but they did get Evan Fournier, so that's a great. And I think they're definitely making it past the first round.
Yeah.
And Trey's not going to stop them this time. Yeah, I think they're very deep. I feel like their starting lineup could be Kemba at the 1, Evan Fournier at the 2, R.J. Barrett at the small forward, Julius Randle at the power forward, and like Taj Gibson or Mitchell Robinson at the center. Yeah, I
All
think
right.
that would be great.
I the Dallas Mavericks situation. Porzingis is and Luca is not the best of friends. That's already been reported. It came out.
Yeah.
Do you see them making a move with Porzingis sooner or later?
I think I definitely see them making a move very soon. Maybe around the trade deadline, or maybe even before like the start of the season, the opening tip. Yeah, honestly, Porzingis. Everybody thought it was a great trade. They didn't
Mm-hmm.
they didn't give up much for Porzingis, but things have just not worked out with Luca and him. There's reports that he feels like Luca has too much spotlight and he doesn't
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think they're definitely going to trade him. No doubt about that. I feel like he could go to a team like to Toronto Raptors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, any team like that. Um,
Okay. The winners and losers of this trade. Eric Bledsoe and Steven Adams to the Grizzlies, and Jonas Valanciunas to the Pelicans. How do you feel about that trade? Winners and losers in that trade, or do you think
um,
it's even?
I think the Pelicans, or sorry, the Grizzlies are winners because they get two players. They get Eric Bledsoe. His defense did, kind of take a drop off the season, but he still
Okay.
is a good defensive player. Next to Jaw, he could go at that shooting guard position. And Steven Adams, I feel like he's just as good as Valanciunas, so he could go at that center position next to Brandon Clark or Jaren Jackson Jr. But yeah, I like the trade for the Memphis Grizzlies and also the Pelicans, but more towards the Grizzlies.
Okay. 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 Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, with the Washington Wizards. How do you see that working out?
I don't think Kyle Kuzma is staying with the Wizards for long. Honestly, I don't feel like that's the place for Kuz.
Okay.
And I feel like they also did get Kentavious Caldwell Pope in that trade.
Yeah. That's one name I
Um,
thought I forgot about.
yeah, I think he could just stay there. He's a
Hmm.
decent role player. He could if they don't trade Bradley Beal, then he could be a guy that he looks to shoot some threes. Hopefully make them. And with Montrezl Harrell too, I feel like that was a solid. He was a solid guy.
Yeah.
He's a center. He's a smaller center. But I feel like Montrez could start over Thomas Bryant, and Thomas Bryant could go off the bench, or
Okay.
it could be unique, and Montrez could go at the power forward position, Thomas at the center. It could be either way. You know,
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if the Wizards will be a success for Kyle Kuzma either,
yeah,
but I can see it being one at the same time because I just feel like he just needed a change of scenery anywhere it goes. I just feel like he needed whatever trade it was, he needed some type of move. Cause a lot around LeBron James and Anthony Davis playing with two top guys that need the ball in their hands to be successful. And Kyle Kuzma, I don't know if it's the coaching, Frank Vogel, not putting him in situations, not putting him in situations where he can be successful. But that's good for Kuz because he still end up getting a championship out of it. But anyway, I think Kyle Kuzma can be better than what he is, man. If with around with the right guys, with him probably having more opportunities with Washington, which is I think he's gonna have more opportunities to get in a lot of spots where he can be that scorer, that 20-point per game scorer again. Montrezl Harrell has not been right since he left Houston. Let's say that left Houston and that his first year with the Clippers, he has not been the same Montrezl Harrell. I thought it was a big mistake him leaving the Clippers. He should never left the Clippers. Uh, and then Caldwell Pope, I don't like Caldwell Pope. I think he's bad as a player, but he's a very good shooter in certain situations. But this is not about these guys. I want to turn my focus on Bradley Beal. To me, I think he needs to request a trade. I think he
yeah,
needed in a worse way. The guy for to hit his 30s. I think
yeah,
it's time for this guy to request a trade. He did all he could to be loyal within an organization, and you can respect a guy that wanna win a championship by himself. That's why I respect Giannis. Staying with the same organization without no superstars, no other superstars right there. You can say Middleton is a star. You can say that if you want to put it like that. You can say Drew Holiday is a two-way star. You can say it
yeah,
like that. But staying with one organization and your organization giving you pieces to work with. I think the Bucks organization did a heck of a job, one heck of a job of making sure Giannis get the right pieces. Bradley Beal, I just think it's time. How do you feel about Bradley Beal? Do you feel like he needs to request a trade, or how do you feel about that? How do you feel about it?
I think he definitely needs to request a trade. I mean, yeah, I do like loyalty, but it's kind of like a James Harden situation.
Yeah,
He carried the team. He had to like score at least 30 points per game to keep his
yeah,
team afloat.
yes,
Yeah, and I feel like he's done all he could, and there also is rumors that he could go to the Golden State Warriors.
mm-hmm,
He could be traded there, and I think that's the perfect situation for him. And that could be the third star for Golden State, and that could push them to the next level. And
mm-hmm.
um, And for Washington, they need to go in, hard reset. They need to get rid of all their bad contracts, just
Yeah,
acquire all the young guys, just get the number one pick in the draft or whatever they need to do.
yeah.
And yeah, they just need to go into hard reset. Yeah.
I don't like this team. It's gonna be a kind of interesting team when Chris Paul staying with the Phoenix Sun, which is I think he should. But all of a sudden, I think he got some blame on what happened to the in the in the playoffs in the finals. I think he definitely deserves some blame, and I hold him officially accountable for the Phoenix Suns probably losing in this series, which they should never lost. The game 5, game 6 turnovers. I hold him definitely accountable for those. But do you see Phoenix doing what they did last year? Do you see them doing what they did last year, going to the finals? Are you still seeing? Do you see them getting to the Western Conference Finals again? Do you see them making the same repeat again? Do you see that happening for Phoenix?
Yeah, I do, honestly. And maybe not like next year because Chris Paul is old. He is about to turn 37. If he's not already, I'm not really sure. And then
Mm-hmm.
the season after this, he's 38. So he's getting up there in age, and time's kind of running out for him. So the Phoenix Suns, if they want to win a chip with Chris Paul, they need to acquire maybe another All Star, or maybe just some decent role players. But I do see them going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Or sorry, I think they're in the East, right?
Not in the West.
Okay,
The
the
Suns in the
Western
West. Yeah.
Conference Finals. Um, uh, but honestly, I don't know if they'll get to the finals. But we never know.
All right. So the Clippers. I probably like if Kawhi Leonard didn't get hurt, I believe they would have made the finals.
Yeah,
Possibly could have won it. Possibly could have won it and beat the Milwaukee Bucks.
yeah,
Without it, I don't think Kawhi Leonard will play. He just re-signed back with him. I
yeah.
don't think Kawhi Leonard will play this season. Do you see the Clippers not making the playoffs? Because we know how tough the West is. Not making the playoffs, or do you see them making the playoffs, and where do you see them being stopped at?
I see them making the playoffs, first round exit. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
just like the Lakers this season. They're dealing with injuries. They're dealing with their superstar getting injured, just like the Lakers did, because
Mm-hmm.
LeBron and AD went down. So and
Yep.
if the Clippers, get don't get bounced, out of the first round, then they're just not making the playoffs. I mean,
Okay.
Paul George can't carry a team. He just can't.
Okay. The Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets, Utah Jazz. Which team you think will be better this year, and which team that you would think make the NBA the Western Conference Finals or the Western Conference Finals? Which team do you have more faith in?
Wait, what were the teams? Denver and who?
Utah.
Oh, Utah. Okay. I think Utah could make the conference finals because Utah, they did make some moves acquiring Rudy Gay
Yeah, that's a
and
big. I like that.
and, and Eric Paschal. They only gave up a
Yeah.
second round pick for him. That
Mm-hmm.
was a steal.
That was a pretty good move too. Eric
Yeah,
Pascal was very good last year. Averaged 17 down to 17 points per game. He was very good. That's a steal. He was very good.
yeah, he's a great player. I think Utah could go farther than they did last year. Obviously Donovan Mitchell. Honestly, if they don't, go at least to the conference finals, I think Donovan Mitchell he could be on the verge of leaving. Honestly,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
This year is you giving like do you think we will give up is it a chance Raphael Stone will give up on Steven Silas early if this year goes bad? Is it a chance you think Steven Silas will be on a hot seat early in his head coaching career?
No, I don't think he will because Steven Silas, he was a part of the Mavs championship in 2011,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, he brings that like disciplined coach mentality to the Houston Rockets.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're young players, don't want to be disciplined, then I mean, you got to trade them or something. And if the team plays bad, then I do not blame it on the coach. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I would blame it on the players, because if they're not disciplined, you really just can't
Yeah.
win. Because if you
Yeah.
think you're like so good, you're just not going to practice, and you know that you have to practice to be good.
Yeah.
And yeah, but
Like I said, I don't think it's his fault for this year why the season imploded. Like I said again, we can all agree that James Harden's shenanigans got him kind of caught everything off, and then his ability to be undisciplined with the team, him arguing with teammates, throwing the ball at teammates, disrespecting teammates.
yeah,
Um, I really don't think he should have played. He really should have played. If he wasn't going out there giving it 100% effort, the only time I feel like he gave it 100% is because is the Portland game. The Portland game, he played an awesome game, and it looked like nothing was wrong with him. He came out, he looked it great. The Lakers game, we lost. He called the team out and said, "We're just saying good enough." And the last three games prior to that, he didn't perform well. He did not perform well. He performed against Denver. He played well against Denver. And then early on, you gotta look at it. You didn't have John Wall. You didn't have John Wall. You didn't have Daniel House within those games. If you had John Wall in the Portland game, the Rockets win that game. Because remember, CJ McCollum hit pretty much the game winning shot. It was
yeah,
going neck to neck, but CJ McCollum had a big game in that first Portland game, that opening night game. That was basically the opener when the
yeah,
Rockets had number they didn't have a lot of players. But if you have John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins in that game, the Rockets win that game. They win that opening night game against Portland. They win that basketball game if they have both of those guys. They win most of the games. I don't know if they win against Denver if they have those guys, because that Denver game got out of hand. But you can make a case they're in the game against Denver. They're in the game against Denver if they have those guys start of the season. If they have the guys against OKC, Harden, and if they have those guys, they definitely beat OKC. The Rockets are 2-0 if they
yeah,
have both all of their teammates. Due to the COVID issues, the Rockets are 2-0 if they have those guys. And like I say, Steve, and then he had injuries. He had injuries all year. Eric Gordon is out. John Wall is out another game. Someone comes back. Someone comes back. Want another person to get injured. So I don't actually blame Coach Steven Silas for the bad season. I honestly think he's a pretty decent coach, and he can be something. He can be a pretty good coach. And like I said, I like the direction this team is going in. Like, I mean, I think we're due for a great season. I think we're gonna have a great summer league. It's a possibly the Rockets get a summer league championship, but I'm definitely going to be watching, and we're gonna have a lot of game recaps on talking about this team and how this team built, how this team is, man. And I say I like the draft moves. I like the draft moves that we're making. I like the progress they're making. I love this coaching staff. I love that John Lucas is still on this coaching staff. Um, Again, Eric Gordon, I don't think he's going to be a part of the team by opening night. It's a chance that John Wall still will be here, but I mean, you're still going to start Jalen Green anyway it goes, and you're still going to start a three guard lineup. So again, I mean, I'm looking for big things to start with this team. So again, I mean, who do you see coming out of the West? Who do you see? Give me a sleeper team that you don't think nobody looking for in East and West
hmm,
by the moves that
um,
everybody made.
huh, I guess maybe the Knicks for the East, because
Okay.
honestly, I feel like people aren't like talking about them like a lot. I mean, they're talking about how like the great their moves were, but they're not like actually looking at their roster and seeing what they actually have. And if you're looking at the New York Knicks, they don't have a freaking amazing team. It's not stacked. And honestly, if like they lose this year in the first round, let's say, people will just give up on them. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and maybe next year they could be a sleeper team, because people will be like, no, they're losing in the first round again. But I think they could at least go to the second round next year.
Okay. Give me. I'm gonna ask you one more question, and we're gonna get up out of here.
All right.
Uh, so so we gonna do this. Rock. Do you see the Rock? Do you think this a good? This do you think this Rockets team can win a summer league championship in the summer league?
I really think they can. The Memphis Grizzlies most recently won it. But now they really don't have the same team that they did.
Mm-hmm.
With all those decent players. But the Rockets, they have a stacked lineup. They have Jalen Green, Şengün, Usman Garuba, Josh Christopher, Jason Tate's brother, Jalen Tate.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of studs, and I definitely think that could get them to the next step in the summer league. Honestly, yeah.
All right. Is Team USA winning the gold medal?
Yes, I think they
Uh,
will.
okay.
Maybe,
Okay.
maybe,
Man, he said, man.
maybe.
All
Yeah.
right, man. I appreciate your time, man. Like
Thank
I
you.
say, Saturday. I mean, that's Sunday. That's Sunday at 5:30. Rockets and Cavaliers.
Okay.
Later that night or that Monday. Probably that Monday. That we gonna break down the game. We gonna get into another podcast. Break down the game and look at what we break down the things that we saw and the players that were impressive. But it was an honor to have you on the show, man. And just keep up the work and keep up the grind and keep dropping out those video contents out there, man. And trust me, it's gonna work out, brother.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to everybody that's been a part of the channel, man. Big shout out to my Rockets guru right here. And as we out, we will say go Rockets go Texas go, fly Eagles fly. We out, y'all.
All right. Peace.
Peace.